All the Scottish clubs are back now for the pre-season, and Fog Football are back for another SPFL transfer roundup. Welcome back, guys, to the channel. It is your Scottish football transfer roundup for the 2nd of July 2023, and for the first time we're going to feature a bit of women's football news, and that's because Celtic star Jacynta has left the club. Now, as of right now, she's not moved to anywhere, she's not got transferred or anything like that. She has just left. Now, I'm assuming her deal ran out at the end of the season. Maybe they were expecting her to stay, but she's not. She has left after 2.5 years at Celtic. She originally joined them from Napoli, and she's still only 22 years old. That kind of strikes me because, I don't know, I just look at Jacynta, and I'm not saying she looks old, but the fact she's been at Celtic for 2.5 years, and then before then she played for Napoli, and I believe she played for West Ham as well. It's like, I feel like she's been around for a long time, yet she still is only 22 years old. So, yeah, she's left the club. One of Celtic's most, I'd say, most popular women, probably. Yeah, I would go as far as saying that. I believe when you think of the Celtic women's side, she's definitely a fan favourite, but she does leave the club, and this is now fueling speculation that Carl Starfelt could also leave the club. I don't really see that, to be honest. I think Starfelt isn't going to go anywhere just because his girlfriend has left the Celtics women's side. If anything, I think she'd be more likely to follow him. If he left to maybe go to England, then maybe she would follow, but I highly doubt he is going to leave Celtic just because his girlfriend left Celtic. So, yeah, Jacynta leaves, and it could be Jacynta and Jota leaving Celtic in the same week. Not a good pre-season for the champions. Jacynta went on to say, though, that she's really happy for her 2.5 years at Celtic, and she thanked all the fans. Basically, all the generic stuff. Now, let's move on to something else that's becoming pretty generic as of late, and that is players leaving Scotland to go to the Serie A. But that's what we could be getting with Aberdeen midfielder Ramadani. So Ramadani came in last year, had a pretty good season, played 44 games in total, and obviously he is impressed because Serie A club Leeds are reportedly interested. According to InsideFootball.com, they want to sign Ramadani. Now, we don't know how much Ramadani would be worth. I'm not sure of any transfer fee or what his value is, but he does have 2 years remaining on his deal. He signed a 3-year deal, obviously 1 year into that, 2 years left, so Aberdeen could be looking at another nice wee chunk of money here if they decide to sell. Does Ramadani want to go? I imagine that he would. He's not Scottish, he's not got any sort of connection to the club, he doesn't have any loyalty to Aberdeen or to Scottish football, so I think if Ramadani gets a chance to go to the Serie A, he'll probably take it, and I think he'd be stupid not to. Leeds finished 16th last season, so of course they're not a team that they might not necessarily stay in the Serie A. They are a team you'd expect to be battling relegation, but still, it's a good move for Ramadani in my opinion. And speaking of Aberdeen, we had their brand new signing Clarkson, and he was talking about how Rangers were interested in signing him. So Leighton Clarkson did like an interview yesterday, and he was saying that how about he had several teams that were interested in signing him. There was multiple clubs that wanted to get his signature, and then he says when it got down to serious talks, there was 3 or 4 clubs, and according to him, Rangers were one of those clubs. However, he said that he decided to choose Aberdeen because he wanted to focus more on his football and his career rather than focus on money, and he suggested that other clubs were offering more money than Aberdeen. So does that mean Clarkson thinks he's more likely to play for Aberdeen than Rangers, or does he just know the Aberdeen setup because he was there for a year? Either way, he said that he was the one that decided to go to Aberdeen, and that if he wanted to, he could have went to Rangers. And finally, guys, it's been a quiet day, but let's talk about Jota. It is still not official, but he is expected to leave Celtic to go to Saudi Arabia, to go to El Ittihad, but it looks like he might be getting a bonus if he does not go. The Daily Record are reporting that Jota has a clause in his Hoops contract that will automatically trigger a hike in wages from 35k to 45k per week if the club rejects a bid of at least 25 million. So yeah, Celtic are looking to bank even more for the sale and smash the Scottish record set by Kieran Tierney's £25 million move to Arsenal in 2019. So if Jota doesn't go, to Al Ittihad, then he will get an extra 10k bonus, which would take him from 35k a week to 45k a week, which, I don't know, it's still a good amount. Will this be a deciding factor? Will Jota want to stay now for an extra 10k? I'm not necessarily going to say that, but it's definitely a bonus. It's definitely a plus side, and we'll see what happens. So yeah, 10k a week, an extra 10k, you can't really complain about that, but it's nothing compared to the report that 200,000 a week he would be getting offered if he did go to the Saudi League. Anyway guys, that's it. Quiet news day for Scottish football. Let us know your thoughts down below. And yeah, Jacynta leaves Celtic. One of the hottest women has left Scottish football. Kind of sucks, but yeah, we'll just have to deal with it. Till next time, peace.